In today's video, we're going to be doing quite a bit of work trying to solve a misfire issue I'm having on my 900 turbo. That's going to include some new spark plugs as well as a rebuild of the distributor. In short, when this car is warm, it has a very slight misfire at idle. I'll play a video clip of what that sounds like right here. The car is stuck at base boost. It doesn't make full boost, so I don't really know if it misfires under full boost. It definitely doesn't misfire under the base boost though, so I'm mainly trying to do this to sort out that little misfire at idle. I actually filmed replacing the spark plugs a couple weeks back, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll that footage right now, then we'll get into rebuilding the distributor.
Yesterday,
I couldn't find super conclusive information online regarding what are the best spark plugs for these cars. This is a 1988 turbo. I made a post in the 900 group and got mixed answers like I figured I would. People are very opinionated on which spark plugs are best for these cars, in the same sense that people are always opinionated on what oil is best. So I'm going to be trying these. NGK BCPR 7ESs are going to be gapped to 0.8 millimeters. A lot of people recommend 0.6 to 0.8 millimeters on the gap for these. I'm looking in the Bentley manual here. Here are the recommended spark plugs for the turbos. BCP 7ES, BCP 7EV, which as far as I can tell, you can't really buy anywhere. I think Saab parts has the 6ES is available, but you have to buy them in alternates of 10. Here's for the naturally aspirated cars, if you're curious, 1985 to 92. I did actually go on Autohaus AZ because I saw that they had the BCP 7ESs, meaning not the BCP R standing for resistor, R also meaning the BCP R 7ES are the same plugs I run in my 9.3 right here. They ended up sending me 2 packs of the BCP Rs anyways, so oh well, I figure we can go ahead and try these in the car. We're going to gap them to 0.8 millimeters, but this should be a pretty simple job. We've got our spark plug socket here, a little bit of an extension 3/8 ratchet, T30, and some anti-seize and a spark plug tool. So let's get to it. We can start by removing the cover here for the spark plugs and the coil wires. Can pop these out now. Then we can take our spark plug socket. This actually came loose pretty easily, which is a good sign. And it looks like they did have NGK BCP 7ES in there. So these plugs are actually pretty hard to find. I am curious to see what the gap on these old spark plugs is though. Looks like they're all at 0.9, so that's a little high, so we're going to close the gap a bit. 0.6 to 0.8 is recommended. We're also going to make sure we put some anti-seize on the threads of the new one. We're going to install our new spark plugs now. I'm going to hand tighten them without the ratchet first. Okay. Pulled all the plugs back out and changed the gap from about 0.8 or so down to 0.7. Attempt number 3, I put the original spark plugs back in and changed the gap from, they were at about 0.85, 0.9, and they're now at 0.7. Here's some other parts we're going to be installing in the second portion of this video for the distributor rebuild. First off, we have some brand new spark plug wires. These are the Bougie Cord brand. I believe that's how that's pronounced. Really the brand that's recommended on the classic 900 for new spark plug wires. We also have a new distributor cap. Now, when Eric, my buddy, who is going to be also assisting with this rebuild because he's very familiar with distributors, when we pulled off the cap on my current distributor, the contact points on all of these were super pitted and corroded. We tried to clean them up. It didn't really work too well. So I ordered a new cap. We also have a new rotor which spins around inside the distributor, and we have a couple of O-rings and seals here that we're going to be replacing as well. But I gotta head over to Eric's house now so we can get this all fixed. First thing we're doing here, popping off the old plug wires. So Eric went ahead and marked all the spots. We took a picture on the old distributor so we make sure we don't mess that up when we reinstall here. Just a little bracket here that holds the distributor on for us. Does it just pop off now?
Yeah, you might need like a screwdriver or something, but it just slides out.
We've got an electrical connector. We've got a ground right here.
There you go. We're wearing gloves for safety, of course, PPE.
OSHA approved. Got Eric Stamos sitting right there. His wagon, which he's going to be doing a cool build on soon, over there. He's kind enough to let me put my turd in the garage so we can work on this.
Do you see how worn down that is?
Oh yeah, there's like a groove into it. You can kind of see.
Yeah, and it's like smaller.
Definitely a pretty substantial difference there, huh? But that's the worst part. It's the cap you got in your hand.
Oh yeah, that shit ain't no good.
See how Eric went in there, tried to sand it down a bit, but it's might be hard to catch on camera, but it's super pitted where it contacts. So he was saying he doesn't think it's making good contact, which hopefully is what's causing the misfire here.
Oops. So here's the electric thing I was talking about replacing.
Okay.
This reluctor assembly. See, it passes by there, makes pulses. When you don't have snap ring pliers.
Just improvising. It's working great, actually. We popped the little electronic cover off here with the little pin. Took both of us to do it just to be safe, and we got another snap ring.
So we found a loose screw here, which actually that causes the timing to move. And this is for your timing control under boost and vac.
It's not good, huh?
No, I would say it's not ideal.
So here's a little test we're running. We tightened up the screw so it's no longer got movement on it.
And this is simulated boost. Up to 10. And then we'll pull some vacuum. Yeah, you see, it should be moving freer than that, I feel like.
Okay.
You see how it kind of stuck there?
Right.
And then it moves once I hit it with vac.
So we got another snap ring to take out. And we actually went and bought snap ring pliers because it's just easier to have the right tool.
But wow, you can really see the movement now.
Oh yeah. That ring was tough to get out, but Eric got it. Using the snap ring pliers.
And a screwdriver.
So 1, 2, 3 screws, okay.
Oh, there's our wire cover.
Nice.
That should be it.
Sweet.
Nope, they got stuck again.
Oh.
Just teasing us. Out.
Cool.
We can get that all nice and clean.
Oh yeah.
We can clean this up. That's where that piece swivels on right there. So we'll clean and get that lubricated.
Got it. A little spring almost.
Yep.
Coil, something.
And then we need to mark this, because we do not want to put this on backwards. Since we already have a dot right there in the shaft, we'll just go ahead and make another dot, and then we can't mess that up.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Out. That is off.
Cool. Yeah, a little washer there, huh?
So I think these are the fiber washers everybody's talking about.
Okay.
And why you get oil inside of your distributor. So now we can...
There's your shaft.
Yep.
Cool. So there's this metal washer on top that we're working at getting out, and then the seal that actually causes the oil to leak is under that. There's a really helpful forum that we found that I'll link in the description if you guys want to read about what causes these things to leak oil. So thankfully O'Reilly's had one in stock, and that forum also has a few part numbers that might work. That forum has the inner and outer diameter and the thickness of the seals. So we found a few parts that are similar, and then basically went off of what cars those fixed and found one that was in stock. So it's supposed to fit what, like some kind of Buick or something? There's a lot of GM cars that this fits.
05 Buick LaCrosse and a 2001 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 heavy duty.
Point being, the same seal fit like, it seemed like almost every GM vehicle from the 80s to the late 2000s.
And a Rolls Royce too.
And, yeah,
it's classy.
Yeah, it had some old Rolls Royces, but this is the part number right there, the 8792S. Essentially have a screwdriver in the other end to go from the backside of this metal washer, and it just spit out. All right, where'd it go?
That was good shit.
Dude, you hit me in the foot with it. Watch it.
Really?
Yeah. There's the old seal. It was very dry rotted before we got our hands on it. I mean, I'm putting a lot of pressure on that. Thing's not flexing anywhere.
You could see all the oil here where it was spraying all out of there.
That's kind of cool.
Nice little pattern, huh?
Yeah. Already looks way better.
That looks pretty straight.
Look at that. Getting this washer all cleaned up. We sprayed it with some brake clean, wiped it down, but there's still a little bit of crud on there, so we're just using a little bit of sandpaper.
And I nicked it a hair with the screwdriver, but nothing a little sandpaper won't fix, right?
You're getting rid of all of the pretty design that was on there.
Pattern. I believe I pushed the seal a little bit further in too.
Okay.
So it should hopefully ride in a slightly different spot. We're gonna put that side down, because that's where the weight should be. That seal feels much tighter.
Really?
Oh yeah, spin it.
Oh yeah.
We got fiber.
So first you put on the big washer and the fiber washer.
And then we got a little.
Yeah, so the mark line's up, and we need our pin.
Thread and a half from falling all the way out.
Eric's greasing up this.
Just so it rides on the bushing. You definitely don't want to get it in the electronics. Like the oil that was getting into the electronics. This pin is gonna go facing that way where the rod comes through. This is now spinning very free and very nice.
Just as it should. I was definitely struggling earlier when we put vacuum on it. Another little thin washer. Go over our plastic piece here. So we got that reluctor wheel on, and there's a little pin on the top side that Eric's just gonna kind of guide in there.
Maybe.
There's also a little spring underneath there on the reluctor wheel. Almost looks like a washer. This little pin just kind of wedged into place.
Yep, good. Not contacting anymore.
Okay, so I punched it in a little bit too far, so we just pried up on this a hair, so now it clears.
Our rotor, it was just rubbing right here on the plastic. I don't want that.
We forgot this snap ring that goes in here, so we took that piece back off. Now we're gonna fit one of our snap rings.
And just to see, if you do not put that in, there's nothing to stop the pin from continuing down that groove.
So it would have been very bad if we did not. Got the old snap ring on that we missed, and we're back to where we started, and now we have our second snap ring to reinstall on top of that.
Unfortunately,
so this point's all cleaned up for us to slide it back in. Just got the diaphragm on. That wasn't too bad. There we go. Okay. So new rotor's on. And you said that spring right here helps hold that pin in.
It just covers the pin. I mean, doubt it's necessary. How hard
Tight
that is
that-
to get out, but Saab's engineers felt that was necessary.
This flat old O-ring out of here. Got the new O-ring slid on here, so it's all good. It's not flat. Disgusting. We were getting ready to put the cap on, forgot this tiny little cover right here, so we took the rotor back off and put that on. Now, with the rotor back on again, we can put our new cap on. Oh, that feels good.
Nice and tight.
Distributor cap, everything is back on. There's only one way this can go on. So we've got that sorted plugged in. Now we need to do the plug wire that runs over here, from here to here. And then our new wires obviously go here. New coil wire is in. All 4 plug wires are also in. The ground is back and connected. So firing order is right here for that, but you should also have a picture to reference. So we did 1, 3, 4 on the underside and then 2 over here. So it should, in theory, be ready to start up, I think. We're working on timing it here, and Eric is better at doing all this timing stuff. If you don't mind explaining what we're doing here.
So basically, we need to set the base timing of the engine, which you do with this disconnected on this engine. And then we're gonna set it at 16 degrees using this timing light right here. I have one that you can dial, so it makes it a little bit easier. You can just line up the 0 marks down on the flywheel. And then after we get that on, we're gonna make sure that it adds and removes timing. Removes timing for boost, adds timing for vacuum. And it should pull like 6 degrees from what I've read.
So we want it set at 16 degrees as the base timing, correct?
No vacuum on our advance here.
So we're gonna have the car running, and I'm gonna assist Eric with this. And we've had it running for 5 or so minutes so far, just kind of tinkering with it a little bit. And I don't think it's misfired once, but we'll confirm. So I'm plugging this in to simulate boost, and then confirming the timing is correct.
They say 6 degrees. I see in about 5 or 6 it drops.
So it's just about perfect then.
I started at 16, and that's about where it lined out.
Cool.
So it looks like it pulled, it pulled 5 degrees. We can check it one more time.
And with that, it's all back together. Eric definitely noticed some of these intake hoses are cracked and falling apart, so I'm gonna try and order some new ones of those to install. Definitely would help, but let's take it for a drive. This car sounds so much different than it did before. Oh, and speaking of which, here comes an R8 rolling in. Look at that thing. But this car sounds so much different. I keep getting distracted because there's random high-end cars. Ignore my passenger seatbelt light. It's because the automatic seatbelt quickly decided to stop working after I fixed it. But we had this car idling for probably 20-30 minutes while we were adjusting the timing and just letting it run. And after we took it for the drive, we had idled another 10 minutes. It did not misfire a single time. It also, oddly enough, seems to be making a little bit more boost. Before it would only go to the midway point, and now you can see it goes just a little bit past the midway point. So it doesn't make full boost, but it's way better. And like I said, this car sounds a whole lot different. hear those burbles. Those burbles are freaking awesome. It would never burble before. The engine itself just sounds a bit different. I think a bit better. It sounds healthier now that the timing is as it should be and it's not misfiring. So it's by no means a perfect mechanical car now, but that was a huge item to fix. I cannot thank Eric enough for his help. And I'm just super, super happy to have this hurdle kind of overdone. So again, thank you to Eric. If you guys want to follow him on Instagram, I'll put that on the screen right here. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I'll see y'all next time.
Take it easy.